must bow to the fact.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to the All-Invitational 14. I'm your host, Casey Uncommon, and we are going to watch some absolutely fantastic games today. I'd like to thank you for joining me. First thing you may notice is we have a little bit of gear today. We have the All-Inspiration hat, which came in earlier in the week. We have the All-Inspiration jersey, which came in this morning. Oh, came in over the weekend. It sat in my mailbox. I didn't know it was there. Another jersey and even a hoodie, which it is way too hot to put on right now. So maybe later. After, you know what? Right now, let's check this thing out, and then I'll take it off, and then we'll just move on to our first game. Let's. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a huge fan, especially this hat combo. I'm becoming quite a fan of this gear right here. So the hoodie is absolutely fantastic. This is like 95% polyester. Never thought that would work in a hoodie, but it does. Wow, it's way too hot for this, and I don't have air conditioning, so I'll be right back. One moment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I'm back. I keep saying the word back. Today, Group A, All-Invitational 14, brought to you by All-Inspiration, and more specifically, Shazam Proof, our director, our head of Officer of Tournaments. This group contains Nordy, Boo, Pisosa, and World is Doom. And if you were paying any attention last night, Quail. I'm confusing it. Let's keep going. Let's go on to, we're going to go on to game number 1. I'm going to cast them all. I know that some onesie-twosie games were casted by members of the community, and that's fantastic. If I'm recasting, it's not a slight at your ability. We're just capturing entire groups in one video for easy viewing, and absolutely, that's it. Easy viewing. Easy viewing and lots of friends. People love to come here and find their games. We're gonna put this on Team Liquid. If you have a match coming up, don't worry. Either myself, Tech4, or Siegfried are going to personally cast all these groups and load them up on the Team Liquid page. They will be on YouTube later if you missed this cast, or you know people who are going to miss this cast, because obviously if you're listening right now, you're not missing a darn thing. All right. That being said, let's meet the that leftover music here. I think my music might be a little loud. Let me check. It's a little bit. We're going to go into Nordy versus Boo. Now, I have renamed all... I've renamed a little bit of these replays. There is a Game 3 maybe in every folder. So you just don't know how many games this is going to go. I've made that mistake in the past. You see me clicking through replays. And, instead of just me trying to hide it and forgetting it, went ahead and took the extra step and renamed them. So we're going to get in the first map, which is Catalyst LE Boo versus Nordy. Ooh, here we go. Loading. Game number 1. Boo. Eventually. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the top left-hand corner, representing all inspiration in the red, the Protoss, it is Nordy. Alright, gotta make sure I get the right interface next time. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, the blue Zerg, it is Boo. Alright, I do have some graphics I want to put on this really quick while we watch. Just some things I thought of while I was, after the fact. There we go. Right there, right in your face. All-Invitational. That'll be a little bit lower. I'll mess with that more when we get the actual replay overlay. So it looks like Boo opting for a hatchery first here. Standard fare for the opening, and Nordy coming across the map here. He's gonna get a good scout. He's gonna recognize no immediate aggression. It's gonna give him an opportunity to play the game he wants to play, and we're gonna see the build he's got unfolded for us here as Probe takes a nice little trip around Boo's base. Alright, he's seeing the spawning pool timing. He sees the gas popping up. He knows he's facing 17 hatch, potentially 16 hatch. I didn't catch that number. Smart thing to do. Win for the Protoss. That one little food worth of one little population food worth of hatch will prevent a pylon block for 16 hatch here. And Probe's gonna notice. Probably hang around here, do a little bit of scouting, see when that third drops. Back at home, we see the Cybernetics course gone down. Nordy himself has expanded down the natural. There we are. This is the. I love this pylon. I call this the hidden pylon, the tech pylon. This is where the next major piece of technology usually goes down for the Protoss. So taking a look around. There's Boo getting a nice little bit of information. And looks like he's scouting for additional pylons, any proxies around his base here with that singular drone. Working on speed, 2 queens, and continuing to drone up. So it looks like just a normal number of initial links here. Get on the map, maybe poke at the front to get the information he wants. He's going to come over here. He's going to clear this overlord. But there we go. There's that first piece of technology we talked about. This is pylon, the tech pylon, dropping a Stargate. So a Stargate opener, fairly common here against Zerg. It's safe. It pushes overlords back. And if he manages to get an Oracle in and sneak the Oracle across, he can actually get quite a bit of damage done on drones. So we'll see what he has in mind with that Stargate very shortly, as it's about to finish up. Warp Gate now just starting for Nordy. A couple lings here looking for a proxy pylon, scouting the edges of the map. And Nordy here spotting the third with the Adept. Nordy shades into the natural. It looks like he's gonna commit to it, trying to find himself a tough spot, a tight spot to tuck himself into, as Lynx chase him around the mineral line. Looks like they're gonna manage to get this round. They're gonna get the kill, and that's all she wrote for that Adept. Not getting a lot done with that initial handful of minerals here. An Adept here at the front line, solidifying that wall is another gateway, finishing up. So we did see it is going to be an Oracle out first. That's both a good defense against its Lings and a little bit of harassment. He might need that Ling defense here. We'll see what Boo gets done with this pressure. Roach Warren also on the way now for Boo. So looking to transition, not looking to commit too much to these Lings at the moment. Is a very good tight spot. Oh, it looks like there is a hole. They're going to manage to get in. This Oracle coming in just in time, but that Adept is going to get cleaned up. And there's now a hole in the wall. 2 spores now. About to finish up. So good response here for the oracles. This looks like he was just knocking out at the right time. You get those down about 4 minutes, just in case the oracle threat is going to be knocking at your door. Taking a look over, it looks like he went ahead and put a full wall up, and it's going to cancel at the last second. Waiting for warp ends, waiting to re-solidify that wall, just in case there's continual Zerg pressure. All right, there we go. Overlord's going to get poked about now, as the Phoenix comes out onto the map. As he's dropping his forge, he wants to start some upgrades. Robotics facility going down. A lot of tech, just kind of grouped up over here. He's going to get that kill. Looks like he's wanting to expand. He is starting to get a surplus of probes over here. Continuing that probe production, so he's going to make an easy transfer, stay up on that economy. Nordy's doing a pretty good job of holding here, and this seems to be a pretty squared up, even fight at the moment. Taking a quick look here at what Boo's got around his base. He is working on that roach speed. And looks like he's going for +1 range, so really committing to roach pressure here. The response to this on the other end is +1 and zealot legs. And it looks like we're starting to get a small gateway explosion here from Nordy. He wants to take this somewhere else. He wants to take control of the fight, get some units out on the map. You see the natural here, really building up a handful of probes. This is going to be a nice boost in economy when he transfers those over to a third. All right, we have the warp in of a handful of zealots. Back over here with Boo, building up a nice army of roaches. Taking a look at his production tab. Continuing to pop more roaches. Roach speed about to finish up. There's that safety overseer. That's going to help him out a little bit, unless he's just in case he's caught off guard by something sneaky. And really just faster and moves with the army, a little safer. Templar Archives now going down. Looks like we're going Mortal Archon charge lot. If I know my Protoss, and I tell you, I don't. There goes the Overseer getting picked apart by this Phoenix. Boo, I'm gonna let that die. Ooh, actually, looks like Nordy deciding to pull back and let that Overseer live for a moment as roaches march across the map. This is the first he's going to see him, and that's a good safety roach. The Overseer saw that. Boo did see that with the Overseer, saw the Stasis Ward send that one roach out ahead to get caught into it. And this is a good bit of damage here by Boo. This could snowball as long as it doesn't overextend. Ooh, good pickup on that Archon, getting the Immortal. Looks like it's probably going to start snowballing into his favor. Doing a little bit of a split here. Going to meet some Zealots head on. There's that one roach falling to the Stasis. We're occupying a couple of Zealots here. Really splitting up that army. Doing a good job there of taking his forces when he needs them. Morphing a couple roaches. Morphing one roach, one low health roach. Keep it alive back in the fight. Going to knock out 5, 7, 8 workers so far. 10. It does look like he's going right for that Cybernetics Core, the heart of Protoss technology. Going to prevent him from warping in any more depths. But right now, it's Zealots, it's Archons, it's Immortals. There goes another Immortal down. Looks like he's pulling the probes. The boys have been pulled 15, 18, 20, 23, 24 probes. That's game-ending damage. Nobody taps out. There's the GG. Well played. And the first match goes to Boo. And I can see why I really need to fix the overlay. So let's do that real quick as I quit this. When did I change it? Replay interface. There we go. We won't have one of those again. One easy group easy, says Boo. PogChamp. Game sounds a little low. Alright. I can never hear what you hear, so let's up that a little bit. Let's leave the music down, but bring the sound effects up. And actually, you know what I do? I keep forgetting that I can do this. I can lower my own earphones so I can pump up everything a little louder, and then I can still hear myself think. That's right, I normally come up here, don't I? Okay. That should do it. I'll lower the sound a little bit for myself. Thank you, Boo, for the feedback. So we're going into game number 2. This is Boo versus Nordy. This one is on 16-bit. And please continue your feedback. If the music's not quite right, I can always adjust it mid-game. So, there we go. Moving into... Oh, there we go. Right here. Moving into game number 2. Boo versus Nordy. Spawning in the top right-hand corner, the red Protoss. It is Nordy. His opponent in the bottom left-hand corner, the blue Zerg. It is Boo. Alright, I learned the other day that I can zoom out twice. I think I might have known that at one point, but I have completely forgotten it. It was an accidental button press. I now have so much. Look at this. Look at it. I can see 2 bases. I could kind of see 2 bases before. I can definitely see 2 bases now. And then I can zoom in. There's 3 zoom levels. I don't know. That's fantastic to me. This is how I like to watch replays. I'm not sure if this is how everybody else likes to watch replays. Or likes to watch games in general. But we do see Boo going for 17 hatch. If I did get the count real quick, he was 16 hatch. So yes, he's keeping this probe out of his business. Very quick scouts from Protoss here. They like to try to get that pylon, block the naturalist as fast as they can get over there, is to block a 17 hatch. So 16 is very safe opener. Taking a look, nothing too crazy. Nordy going to take the back expansion, while Boo, as the Zerg, wanting to get his creep moving faster towards his enemy opponent, takes the natural expansion down here at, well, his natural expansion. Down here, the forward expansion, we'll call it. And then he gets to save this 3rd expansion for a safe expansion later. So, nice little benefit here for the Zerg. And really for anybody other than the Zerg, this is a kind of a difficult place to hold off. There's a large opening here. There's even rocks that can be broken down. So it's really difficult to wall off mid to late game, or early through mid game. But this over here, a pretty standard ramp wall, makes this a very defensive base. Now, benefit goes to, advantage here goes to the defender. While if you had moved the natural down in this area, the aggressor gets the advantage. So you kind of see what kind of game he wants to play. And with Zerg, the Zerg can say we don't build walls, so we don't necessarily have these same problems. All right, so I believe that's the adept bug there. So nice and pink unit being warped in. We see the opening Stargate again. That is his flavor of choice, Nordy here. We didn't see it get a lot done. It did save him from some ling pressure early on. That could have gone a little worse, as that adept fell. But even the stasis ward later on was pretty well foiled by a very attentive Boo. Nordy moving across the map with this first adept. And this timing, you see the lings getting ready, coming out to meet it at the front door. This is 4 lings. They're going to see it. And looks like he's going to cancel it and decide to run away. Decide to keep his information and fleecing. The natural is up. He knows his 3rd is going to be soon, if not having already seen it. I'm pushing around some buttons.
Well. Looks like your brood has evolved.
Ooh, I got words from perspectives. Alright, there goes the first Phoenix. He's going to get that. He's going to get that over here just fine. Or Overlord, excuse me. But looks like he did opt for Phoenix first rather than Oracle, so he's not necessarily trying to get back here in the base and get some real damage done. So it looks like it is going to be more of a utility Oracle. So let's watch this Phoenix. Let's see, he tries to clear the map of Overlords. Actually missing, passing right by one, hiding in that gap. As this Phoenix collects a bit of information on his own side of the map. Handful of lings moving across here from Boo. Gonna poke at the front and see if they can gather information. This is more of an informational poke. They see there's no 3rd. They're gonna come up here. They're not gonna see any of the major technology being added. They did lose an Overlord, but the Overlord did have full information. He saw the Stargate, he saw the Warp Gate, saw the Zealot legs right in the middle of the base. Very bold Overlord. Looks like the Phoenix did find himself. Found himself an Overlord, but decided that that wasn't the one he wanted to go after. Picking out this other one as Boo sends it in to gather some information. He's going to see a small explosion of gateways as a couple Lings get into the base and start poking at the technology. Focused on the other side of the map, though, it looks like he does get a tag in with the Oracle. That Oracle walks away with 0 kills and just happy to have its life. As a handful of depths start moving across the map. Looks like Roach Tech about to finish here. A handful of drones for Boo finishing up in the production tab. And that, small gateway explosion about to finish up. Zelt Legs finishing. And really, I like the I like Nordy's posture here. I do feel Boo is slowly grabbing the advantage. He's cleanly teching up, maneuvering some units across the map. So we'll see how this evolves. Oops, excuse me. All the jarring clicking as Nordy attempts to secure third. He's going to run into a little bit of lane aggression, but these adepts should be fine as long as they don't get caught and surrounded. As long as they don't get caught and surrounded. Even then, let's see. I've been wrong before. Actually, so there we go. Turns on the Oracle. Oracle's melting, and it looks like it's going to have to push. It's going to push off the attack for now. He did lose a significant amount of very expensive units there. Mildly expensive units there to a handful of Lings. And there goes the Observer. He's going to move across the map and continue to gather information. Alright. So continuing the drone up, trying to max out that third. Really get a good economy going. It looks like Boo's going to snag a fourth. He's feeling good and confident. He's got his creep starting to spread between all the bases. I imagine it'll start going forward before too long. And just taking a scope at what's going on around the base. Looks like he's got Overlord position. Even this one puking out some creep to prevent that base from being taken. It's got a nicely saturated natural base. Got a heck of a lot of tech on a minimum number of pylons over here, but still a lot of tech. Want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's more gateways being thrown down now. And starting to build up a little bit of a respectable army. He likes this charge a lot Archon Immortal composition, and if he can keep those units alive throughout the fight and use his zealots for tanking, it'll go a long way. This run by this advancement of units being spotted here by the Observer, but Ling's kind of taking an interesting path here to decide what they're going to break down this wall. Walls typically favor the Protoss. We'd like that freedom of maneuver as a Zerg. And we do have this Oracle coming across. It managed to get 7 kills. I did miss that. I'm going to assume it poked in and got a few. Oh wait, it was the Lings earlier. I did not miss that. So we just going to tag these Lings and run by, and run away. Now he's got the majority of the army. In vision, he's going to see the Hydralisks starting to come out here, and his response on the other end is just probably going to be to continue to beef up his economy and beef up his army. But it looks like Storm and a +1 just now started. A handful of pylons going down in order to find himself a little bit of supply block there. That is unfortunate. That is going to stop the rolling war machine just for a little bit, as melee and Hydra speed and Baneling speed are all being morphed on the other side of the map for Boo, as he's ramping up his own very speedy, very explosive war machine. Now, this becomes more and more dangerous the more Immortals we get, the more Archons we get. It looks like we're doing, really focusing on those Archons when it can. It's up to 3 Immortals now. His army is getting scarier. There was another tag down here. He does see good on Nordy for keeping the information, knowing where the army's moving, but you can see the creep highway expanding really well over here on the top left-hand side of the map. And then over here on the right, looking like he's creating avenues for flanking and alternate avenues of approach for this army. Now, taking a quick look around the Zerg base, we see starting to mine out of his main. He'll start mining out of his natural soon. A little oversaturated on each of these bases. Not absolutely optimized for his mining, but it does look like he's poking around, thinking about moving out as he morphs in some more Banelings. Yep, listen. Ooh, okay. Yep, I missed Baneling drops, but apparently he didn't. 29 probes gone as 3 locations. A triple drop, even more. 49 probes. Absolutely devastating damage here. He doesn't even have to take an efficient fight here. Boo has eliminated 49 workers from Nordy, bringing him down to 22 versus 73. He's got lurkers in the ground. This is not a fight Nordy can win, and it's definitely not a fight he can recover from with that many workers gone and so low on the mineral count. Nothing really banked up here as lurkers burrow. Most of the army gone here, but the lurkers still continue to put out a little bit of damage. Looks like they're going to get cleaned up, leaving one lurker alive here as they run back to their natural base to kind of lick their wounds. There we go, having to run back into the lurker, getting a couple extra hits off. So much AoE damage here, but Immortals do an excellent job of cleaning that up. But let's take a look at the bases again. Not even, there we go, not even everything is mining. There's nothing on minerals in 2 of those bases. And the 4th base never got stood back up, so even 24 workers, he's currently getting a lot of gas, building a gas bank. He needs to redistribute those workers. Absolutely vicious bombs, as Pisos in chat says, that can't be legal. Yeah, Nordy there, well, I'm screwed. GG, and game number 2 and the series goes to Boo. Alright, yeah, I agree, Pisosa. Can that even be legal? 49 workers killed in the worst fight up a ramp. Yeah, he did throw away his army, but he can't rebuild it. Or Boo did throw away his army, and he lacked the capability to rebuild it. So we're going to head on back to score screen. Congratulations, Boo. We'll see him in the winners match, facing the winner of Pisosa versus World is Doom. Saw both of these players last night in the Pizza Pie Bi-Weekly. Is this a rematch? Did they play? I think Pisosa went on. He might have played Doom. But regardless, let's go ahead and get into game number 1, which takes place on Lost and Found. Boop. Somebody tell Molded Pixels I would like to try Space Engineers with him after this, if I have time. Alright, this is a best of 3 loading in on Lost and Found. In the bottom left-hand corner, the blue Zerg, it is World is Doom. Oh, wait, scene switch. His opponent, in the top right-hand corner, the red Zerg, it is Pierre Sosa. Alright. Take a look at this map. The main base has a lot of extra space here. Lost and Found, it's got good space for drops and harassment, a lot of dead space even right here for retreating. The natural, however, is aggressor's advantage. The big gap here, which is game on par for the Zerg. So this is something that they're used to facing, and it's really, we're going to pay attention here to their openers. Both of them going 17 hatch here, and looks like they're looking to play a kind of standard opening. Neither one of them right now is going to be putting on some immediate pressure on the other. We're going to see what kind of game Pisosa and Doom wants to play here. Sit back and we'll enjoy this opener as the Overlords just kind of glide across the map. Blissful, peaceful. Taking a just a gaze around here. Taking a look, taking a peek. See the Ultralist trophy there. Somebody's been playing in tournament brackets. And somebody hasn't. Let's see. Zoom on in. This is a... What is that icon? It's one of the... like an achievement. And over here repping the we gotta get that changed, but the old all-in clan tag, clan logo. Alright. We talked a little bit about the base, we talked a little bit about their openers. Both of them popping out 4 lings, working on speed. kind of mirrored each other. As looks like Pisosa a little ahead on worker production, just a little bit, moving out a couple of things. I wonder if that was an efficiency thing, or looks like World is decided instead to put down the baneling nest. And so this is going to be something that dictates the pace of a game. We'll see how far behind, if at all, Pisosa places his baneling nest, and see what kind of response he has to this. As Link's kind of tussling in the middle of the map here. Each player trying to find the best angle. Doom losing one Ling, and Doom opting to take that third. Baneling nest is spotted. In response, Pisosa throws down Roach Warren. So this is a good response if he can hold on in the interim. If he can hold the defense while this gets up and running. So we're going to see as speed kicks in here, and you see those zoomy zergs start moving across the map a little bit faster. They're in the mineral line now. There's one. There's two. Three. They're getting a lot of damage. They're getting a lot of damage. Three this early in the match. With this few workers on the field, significant deal. And even behind this, World Doom pumped a couple more workers out, 29 to 23, as they come in for second pass, and just kind of keeping Pisosa on his side of the map. And I like that, even as we have reinforcements coming his way. 9 roaches, though. Pisosa about to pop out 9 roaches in response to this. Now, this is going to pull a little bit of the Links forward to try to defend this, but there are the 4 banelings. This is a fight he can take, and a fight he wants to take. A little bit of indecisiveness there with the banelings. He didn't need them, but now he's going to have to face the roaches. Roaches finding himself some good angles here. And looks like he might save that third base. As the Lings get over here for another pass of the workers. There goes 2. There goes 3. That's 6, 7 workers for a handful of Lings and rest. These Lings are the heroes right now, putting out so much damage. 19 to 27 workers. Actually, that worker count's going down as he looks like he expands. He's going to throw down some spy crawlers. He's got the extra workers to spare, but moving across the map, Pisosa trying to meet this force. Now, if these Lings can catch handfuls of roaches at a time, that number is a little too big. Even with Link support right here on the rear, Pisosa moving out with a massive push here. 44 army supply to 24. Morphing some banelings, some good baneling hits on Lings will go a long way in this fight. But it's going to be about control. It's going to be about getting the best connections with the largest and most disgusting group of units you can. It looks like banelings are blowing up. Target fired down before they're morph in. There goes the... there was a recovery from replay here. So I guess there was an issue now. Both players are going. And they're actually a great hold here by Doom. As Pisosa decided to pull back, kind of operate in his own space. He did get the third, so it does put him in a significant lead. He's going to take that advantage, and he's going to go ahead and work his way home. Over in the chat here, Pisosa says, "I hate his micro." Really giving a nod and a little bit of respect here to Doom in this Ling Bane war. Handful of banelings being morphed in. You don't want to attack banelings when you don't know when they started morphing. But that is a scary number. And banelings, he doesn't have his own banelings in response here. So it's these... His options are going to be relying on these roaches. Really trying to get good connections. But even through a funnel of roaches, so many banelings here moving up to hit the mineral line. He's trying to split. He's trying to get some good splits here. Throws banelings in, gets 4, and gets 4 workers. Actually, a good splits protects him a lot more than not really the connections that World is Doom was hoping for. And he finds himself again at the front door, hoping to take down some of these 4 spine crawlers. Now remember, each of these was a drone, so still a drone kill, yeah. These spines actually doing an excellent job funneling in the banelings and kind of wrapping up that aggression. Pisosa still doing okay, even though he's only on 3 bases. He's down a little bit of workers. Excuse me. Even though he's down a little bit of workers, he's still on 3 bases. And there goes the first Evo chamber of the game, going down now. Alright, here come the Lings trying to get in and do a little poking. They're going to be met by some roaches. I'm going to vomit that bile up and push them away. World is Doomed now pushing with his own roaches. You see a singular roach now join the fray. And we're going to see where his tech path goes. Both of them now opting for the evolution chamber. This might morph now into just a good roach v roach battle. So it's going to become more and more about economy now. Doom a little bit supply blocked here at this moment. 56 out of 52. As there was a little bit of an Overlord explosion. These Lings again, not so much trying to get damage done, although they're going to find it. I was going to say more for scouting, but that run by there, picking up your workers, and really as you're transitioning into the next tech, getting the maximum value of these units as you decide to throw them away is excellent. I love the controller. I love the attack. Let's just take a quick look at the bases, see if we've missed anything. We are seeing another spine crawler being moved forward. Looks like he is focusing on +1 roaches. And he's going to actually move the spine crawler over to the 3rd. He does need to protect this. This is important, even though he finds himself a little bit behind, at least in larva production. But his workers and Doom's economy has been pretty steadfast. This is turning into kind of a stalemate. A little bit of damage exchanged both ways. And really, I'm going to love to see where this goes, and if this falls into one really sharp battle. Looks like roach speed being produced by both of them at the same time. World Doom opting for Overlord speed, so we can get a little bit of information. There it is. You can see the zoomy Overlord moving across the map. And this one, Pasosa diving in, trying to get a little bit of intel here. He's going to see, the roach horns working. He's going to morph it into an Overseer. Curious, does this allow him to get away? It looks like no, the Overseer just stayed there a little bit longer. So I'm thinking I might have learned something there. And maybe he started earlier, but here we go. 3 Ravagers, 3 Biles, takes 4 to get an Overlord, but he's gonna be able to snag that pretty quickly. There we go. Ooh, and just caught it right on the butt, right on the tail end as he moves across the map with a handful of roaches, Ravagers, and even 2 Banelings waddling up there in the front. His opponent, 4 Ravagers, goes for the kills all at once. He's going to take out there another Overlord. Each of these players gearing up for a fight now. Similar army sizes here. Pasosa edging out the lead, and with the defender's advantage, he may be in a good spot, although moving closer to the middle of the map there. Oh, dodging those Biles, aggressively dodging those Biles, and there's some defensive Biles there to keep the chase from continuing. It looks like, not a good angle there. You don't want to move up that ramp into that fight. Oops, excuse me. Actually caught off guard too, deciding to try to take down Rock. Pasosa finding some bad fights here. And there's that Bile connecting and getting good hits, taking out a couple of units, or taking out units and damaging a couple of others. Morphing the damaged roaches into Ravagers. If you can buy a couple of seconds, this will be absolutely what he needs now. As more units stream across the map to join his army. On the other side, World is Doom popping out 20 Lings for maybe a potential run by. Focusing more on some technology. He's going to catch some roaches out of position. This is going to force Wolves of Doom to come back and make sure his Ravager safe. All those Lings, those extra Lings moving to join the army, completely annihilated. It's a great catch here from Pasosa. Wolves of Doom finding himself on the other side of the map. Going to take out some Overlords on his way. It looks like he's going to move into this 3rd base a little bit uncontested. The reinforcements will come from one side. But he is moving through chokes. He is moving up ramps. He is going to get that 3rd base. This is ball of blue. This absolutely devastating ball of blue. That is a lot of Biles hitting. And he's just doing an excellent job of moving through and getting away with his attack here. So many Biles. That was a massive amount of damage there as World is Doom absolutely landing some fantastic shots. He's just going to take here. Looks like he's going to stay there and tank that fight a little bit, spreading out away from the rogue Biles. But really, taking a look here, just Pasosa with the army advantage, even taking bad fights and bad biles. He's doing an excellent job of holding on. There's a couple more biles coming. He's going to transfer the damage into the back of his roaches, and it looks like he's going to hold off for now the Pasosa at a major disadvantage. His reinforcement of roaches here, as he's able to collect himself and gather, it's going to give World of Doom really the numbers advantage. He does a little bit of pre-spread there, and you see him moving up that ramp. He's going to have to chase down Pasosa now, who really wants to hold on to these roaches, because at the moment, at going from an army surplus to an army disadvantage, he's going to need every one of these roaches. Especially now that he is down two and a half bases, say a half, I think the third, third is almost done remaking. While his opponent is sitting pretty happy on 4 bases. Even though they have similar work count, if your workers aren't working, they're long distance mining right now, they're not bringing it in. So yeah, oh god, the biles there from Boo Radley. Those were some massive biles, and I really got to give it to Doom for really cleaning up and doing a great job of controlling this army. Ooh, a little bit of miss micro there. Even biles finding their way into the middle of that formation. Espasosa move commanded right up that ramp into a funnel. Ooh, excellent shots there. Pasosa even managing to save this Overlord in the middle of this chaos, getting so much damage done on Overlords. Trying to trick an Overlord here and then moving forward. I do like the Bile Overlord combat now. This is an interesting approach he wants to take down and then up the ramp again, hoping to clear some of those rocks out in the process, getting a little bit of damage on with the biles. And this kind of dance back and forth here as the units try to find the right opening. And there's the Banelings here. Being morphed in. That might have been what he wanted to do with those 20 lings from earlier. Let's see what his plan was. Let's see what he decides to do with these. As this is becoming a really scrappy fight, as these armies are both getting close to maxing out. 116 to 135 army value. Oh, nope. 2-2 is finished up for both of them. Or sorry, 2-0 finished up for both of them. They're both +2 attack roaches. Oh, and there's the Banelings. 17 Baneling hits, and then throwing themselves into the hatchery, doing a significant amount of damage. So many biles being thrown up. The biles are hitting. There's nowhere for these armies to go. It looks like Pasosa slowly taking the loss here as last of his units are cleaned up. This is now a massive ensemble army. Pasosa can't possibly create anything and there's the tap out. There's a GG. And World of Doom takes game number 1. Whew, the biles. That was the game of biles. I don't think I've ever seen biles so viciously thrown about. So World of Doom takes game number 1, and we're going to go ahead and go into game number 2 here on Acid Plant LE. Getting right into these things. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the bottom right-hand corner, the Blue Zerg, hoping to close this best of 3 series out in one more game. It is World is Doom. His opponent in the top left-hand corner, the Red Zerg. It is Pasosa, or Pierre Sosa. Alright, looks like we're going to get a gas cancel there. I usually see those in early pools. But it does look like he's going to opt for 17 hatch. So let's take a look at that timing here as he puts down his hatchery at 17. Ooh, actually, World is Doom a little behind, throwing down 18 hatch. We'll see what that decision-making process was about. Over time, we'll see if that was on purpose or not. Alright, so this is Pierre, or Pasosa, going for a fairly early third base. And it looks like it is safe enough. He can do this. He can pull this off. This was a His opponent is running a relatively safe build. There aren't lings coming across the map. You know, in a 12, an 11, 12, 12, 12, 12, 11, 12, 11. So it looks like he's going to get to play the game he wants to play. And let's see if Doom can punish this third base, or if we see this morph out to kind of a standard game with Pasosa getting an early advantage. I'm taking a quick look at this map. We talked about it. We talked about the last map a little bit. Let's talk about this one. Another very large main base, but this one has a lot of dead space for drops. A lot of spaces for overlords to get away. A lot of room. A lot of space that's invisible to the player. Things can be hidden. And then the opening again is wide. There's no ramp up into the natural. So this is very much an aggressor favored map. And then the multiple attack paths from the angle of the third, right up the middle, and even a clean path kind of over here, a very wide path from the optional third or fourth base here. Looks like World is Doom realizing he needs to get a third base up fairly quickly, but same time, this seems to be there's a build. Oh no, there it is. It seems to be a very quick Roach build. Not skipping gas, throwing down the Roach one really quickly. So we'll see where this game, quick Roach build that, did he spot that Roach horn? Did I miss, he did not, he spotted the third, he threw down a Roach horn, he felt like he got a little bit of extra time, and with this competing Roach horn, it looks like we're going right into the Roach fight. It should be a very squared up standard fight now that, as we kind of watch these openings evolve into what they are. Taking a quick look around. That third's about to finish up for Pasosa. He's dropping the evolution chamber. Both of them going for some teched up roaches. Even got a little bit of a wall here to help support Pasosa here. It looks like if he decides he needs to hold something. But really just a slow opening. Not a lot of aggression here from either player. As the first couple settlings, the first adversaries move across the map here. They're going to see the +1 has started. They saw the Roach Horde. And like last time, they're going to come in here and they're going to get some damage done. These things, target firing down drones, are going to pop off too. That seems to be a fair trade. That seems to be a trade I'll take all day. Four lings for 2 drones. If for every, I could settle with that every time. But handful of roaches now making their way out. Take a quick look at the units tab. 9 roaches for Pasosa, 2 for Doom. I imagine that's going to change any moment now. Remember, we got 6 more roaches in production here for World is Doom. What a name. What a mouthful of a name. Call him Doom. Doom. Alright. Again, taking a look. It's been a very kind of a gentleman's agreement kind of game, as both of them kind of build up the Roach army. Now Pasosa, having been a little bit greedy, is being a little bit defensive, and it seems like on the other hand, World is working with pretty good information here. He knows what his opponent has. He feels safe to sit at home right now and continue to build up an army. 4 more roaches on the way here for Doom, with 6 workers for Pasosa. Take a quick moment, look at the positioning of all the overlords. The Roach army isn't going to be able to sneak past any of these locations. And not just that, if he happens to miss it, Pasosa's got overlords here in other key positions, so he can't possibly miss a move out here of his opponent. If he had 1 more overlord right here, he'd have double protection. And it does look like he's throwing an overlord in here, or an overseer, excuse me. See if he can't gather any information. He knows he's not going to be a spire. He knows now that this is full Roach, and he's going to see this move out. There we go. He did see a handful of roaches kind of poking in the vision of this overseer or overlord, and in response, He's pumping out 11 more roaches, starting to morph in some Ravagers, getting +1 Carapace. Is about 1/3 of the way done. This would also be a good moment to pop out lots of Overlords as these fights get a little bit hectic. I like to pop out Overlords, keep myself from becoming supply block. Now he's going to catch, looks like Doom is going to be in a fantastic concave here, giving up some of that and running away into some biles. Does look like Pasosa is going to push this back with a handful of, with his Roach Army. Actually coming in from another angle now, Doom trying to find himself the right spot as he works his way up a ramp. He's trying to trade roaches for roaches. The number of roaches starting to diminish. Doom feeling comfortable here, feeling like he's got an advantage, trying to pull some roaches back. Suddenly, it switched. The concave from Pasosa, folding things in on the left-hand side as we have, let's go and keep an eye on the roach count. 22 to 20 roaches. Pasosa in a small lead, but it's not all there right now. As he tries to regroup a little bit with Darn. Pick off a few spare roaches with some good micro. But you do see the occasional shot from Pasosa as he's, attack moving into this, shaving off more and more roaches. But now it is 27 to 25, and it's small. It will start to become a small defender's advantage for Doom if Pasosa decides to push up this ramp. And it looks like each of them are kind of creating this dead zone, getting their concave, staying on their respective ramps. But it looks like Doom wants to push the issue. And Pasosa actually letting him have the ramp for just a moment, but then chasing him away. Doom deciding he wants none of that fight. Trying to get, it looks like he's trying to bait his opponent into coming up the ramp. We'll see. It looks like Pasosa walks into that. A little bit of move command there. Some long stutter steps here, as it's just concave, convex. As each of them try to micro their way into the superior position. But these are the reinforcements that are coming here for Doom. They're much shorter way to travel, and looks like what we're seeing is a little bit of defender's advantage and a little bit of just a bad engagement here, as Pasosa walked into the concave. All right, well, Doom deciding to retreat for now, take the advantage he has, and continue to work on it. And I can agree with that. This looks like it would have been a seesaw engagement if he continued to move forward and back. It's going to be the first one that loses too many units. And we're going to see the major sways here, but just handing in the defender's advantage back and forth is what Doom is preventing by staying back home. He does not feel confident enough that he can end the game here. Handful of biles. We'll take out that Overlord, and a fourth base finishing up here. For Pasosa. Taking a quick look at the production and the tech, it does look like we are committed now. We are committed to roaches for a little bit. The tech advantage, though, Pasosa 2-1 to his opponent's 1-0. I'd like to see him on the other side of the map, but I always have complete information, so we'll see how this fight actually devolves. It looks like Doom hoping to push the issue. Seeing that the rocks are still up and the Lings are getting ahead of the army. Gathering his forces in the middle of the map. Seeing some Lings, I like this. I like the Lings over here for the flank. Hoping to find their opponent out of position at the right moment. That is a dangerous run by. We've seen Doom do some fantastic things with Lings, get a lot of damage done with just 3 or 4 Lings, and that is an amazing force. Coming over here, looks like he's doing a run by. He's focusing. He wants drones. A couple Lings there. Finding their death as his army now marches across the map. Lings in the base of Pasosa. As we watch this engagement, the Lings are dealing some damage here. 4 drones, 5 drones falling to this run by. It's still over there. It hasn't been cleaned up yet. 6 drones falling as these two try to find good positions again. We almost see a repeat of the fight before. This is fighting up a ramp. Not the most advantageous position, but taking a look at the army, I mean, Pasosa has the advantage, and he will have the significant advantage for just a few moments longer before Doom's +2 kicks in. And he's taking this fight. He sees the worker upgrade lead, another worker, the tech upgrade lead. He's pushing the issue. He's still killing. It looks like he's getting a handful of drones while he's on this side of the map. But there goes his advantage slowly as more units flood in to help push back Pasosa. Doom not having a significant enough of a force to push across the map and clean this up. But if we take an inventory, what happened over here, that 4th base did go down to the counterattack. We did lose a handful of things. It does look like the economy, the county for Doom is staged to be in a better position. There's a 4th going down now. We've slowed down a little bit of Pasosa's progression. The upgrades are now even, and both these players looking for a fight. Alright, this is a fight that Doom wanted to push the issue on, but Pasosa going to be pulled back by those defensive biles. Handful of really bruised roaches here, regenerating fairly quickly and morphing into Ravengers. All right, so more bases. Oh, wait. There we go, yeah. Looks like a macro hatch has now gone down for Doom. On his side of the map, taking account of everything that's going on. It seemed to be just at an army point. Nobody looking to transition, out of this mid game into anything more technical. This force of Doom finding themselves in an awkward position here, as actually the reinforcements almost caught off guard, but now forming kind of a pincer move here as they come from multiple angles. So many biles there. Excellent micro as Doom kind of shuffles out of the way and really takes a fantastic engagement. He's going to clean up this group in the middle, and now the reinforcing roaches for the rear, taking their pop shots. But being forced to retreat. A lot of bruised roaches, though. I see I call them Ravager candidates. A lot of Ravager candidates on the field right now. As this fight just seeming is back and forth. It's just neither player giving ground, neither player giving up. Some excellent biles there. Disgusting connections. As Pasosa takes some horrible, and there's the GG. Pasosa taps out. Tap with the GG, and that ends game number 2, giving the series now to World is Doom. So congratulations, Sam. It looks like we're going to see Doom, Doom and Boo. Thank you. In the winners match, and we will get right to that after I take a short break, and I'll see you in approximately 5 minutes. And we're back. Welcome to the All-Invitational 14. We just watched two people advance out of the, advance to the winners match. We, Boo and World of Doom are our next matches, and I'm wearing a green shirt. Awesome. Do I blend into the game a bit? I blend into the game. Also, if you don't know this hat, it's a little bit interdimensional. It also sees through space. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. The winners match. First, the one who wins this match will advance out of the group stages. It'll be the first one out of the group stages. And we're going to go right into that game. The first one is Boo versus World of Doom on Catalyst LE. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, drum. Hello and welcome to the show as we get into the winners match of Group A. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner, the red Zerg. It is Boo. His opponents. In the top left-hand corner, it is World is Doom, who's getting his hope and his dreams. The fireworks are going to be in all the replays. That being said, I don't think the fireworks are in the replay files themselves, but the fireworks are going to play on all replays during this time period. So there you go, fireworks and this conversation forever emblazoned, as both of these have APM to spare. It looks like gas pool here for Doom. We'll see what he decides to do with that. Maybe just a safety pool, and maybe he's the guy that Boo needs to be safe from. A little bit of taunting there in the chat. Doom says spawning pool is late. Whether or not that's true, you all right, a little bit of banter back there about grammar. So taking a look at the map, taking a look at what we had to work with today. Again, some good area over here for some sneaky play, some dark parts of the screen. A little bit of dead space here for drops. But again, another map that is just aggressively open to, aggressively favoring the aggressor. All in, aggressively moving forward, they say. But no, really, not a lot of maps here with, not a lot of maps in this current pool with ramps, and even those that are being vetoed. So this is going to favor. There it is, the fireworks. We're going to favor the aggressor here, and we see 4 lings moving across the map here for Doom. They will meet head first with the 6 lings being made by Boo. So it's going to come down to a little bit of control. More lings, actually, 4 more on top of those 6 being made for Boo. He's making some decisions here. Maybe he's worried about continued aggression. Maybe it's a little bit of overcommitment to the defense. But there we go. He's trying to pop out some more drones here. He feels a little safer. Nothing's followed. He hasn't seen any additional lings follow this. There's the main ling nest. It has been spotted, but it's okay. He's already got his own on the way. Alright, Doom getting information, actually getting out with all his lings. Looks like he's going to take them all the way home. But a handful of Boo's lings sneaking around the side here as he checks the third and actually gets pushed away. This is like 4 lings on 6 ling set of fights here, but a handful of more lings. Doom doing a decent job cleaning that up. It looks like he's going to take the ling fight for now. As actually forcing Boo to continue to make a handful of lings in response to this, leaving Doom some space here. As he popped out, you saw a handful of more drones there. He is going to spot the third, and Doom's going to put on a little pressure here. It's going to take just a moment, for Boo to bring up enough defense to deal with this. And pulling just enough lings to deal with the push while he focuses down moving around the edge. Oh, I think that might even been a little bit of friendly fire there as he's able to get the... I think that was a cancel? I think that was a cancel. I don't know for sure now that I say that. But Doom doing an excellent job of controlling the pace of the game. Doom, right? I said Doom? Doom, boo. Colors, Zergs. Doom doing a fantastic job of controlling the pace of the game here so far. Now, looking like he's trying to get his hatchery in exchange. Trying to get Doom's hatchery in exchange, trying to make that a fair trade, but there's just too much on the field right now. So many Banes. Looks like he's going to find himself. Ooh, that's a lot of Banes. You don't want to lose them. There we go. Two for 4. That's a very good trade here for Boo. But the hatchery does manage to make it up. There goes the fireworks. And there goes an okay Baneling connection. Almost running into those Banes. That was a fair trade for Boo. He's taking this being outnumbered thing really well. Alright, looks like Ling, just a focus on Lings here. Lings and Banes for Doom. As 14 more in production and a handful more moving across the map to join up. It looks like he wants to continue to push this issue. Banelings being morphed. On the other side of the map, we'll take a little bit of time to get there, but he is going to see and start poking at the third here. Trying to put some damage on it. He's not going to finish it off right away. And as long as he can avoid that one Baneling, he'll be in a decent position. Baneling coming right back up, getting 4 Lings in the process. Excellent hits there. Looks like a transition to the Roach Warren. But that is 10 drones, a queen, and looks like even more drones starting to go down here. The Bane's going into the main now. As the Lings beat him to it. GG, Boo taps out. World of Doom takes game number 1. We'll go right into game number 2, as that was a very close series. Not quite a coin flip. As fantastic job there by World is Doom. Fireworks. Alright, get the score settled. There's the good luck, have fun. This is a 4-player map. On the bottom right-hand corner, the red Zerg. Representing all inspiration, it is Boo. His opponent in the bottom left-hand corner, representing all inspiration, it is World is Doom. Taking a quick look at this map. This is a 4-player map, so scouting and finding your opponent's position and getting the information you want is important. We are going to see this Overlord pushing to the right. He got lucky. He picked the right direction. We do have now the ramp on the natural. This one favors the defense. Maybe less so, a little less so in the Zerg's position, right? And there's no walls at the top of this. But it's still taking the high ground. Very, very good. You always get that first hit as somebody tries to take a fight up your ramp, especially if you get a good concave there. It's very, very defender favored here on this map. Now this potential third here will lead right to the opponent's optional third, so potential fourth. While you could take it away from your opponent here in a much more difficult place to defend. It is farther away from the ramp. It is a little bit of a longer distance. It's harder to cover. But in this scenario, I expect Doom to potentially expand away from his opponent. This Boo is going to get the scout first. He's going to see the natural has gone down. There's a handful of Lings kind of moving across the map. Now, he knows he's been scouted, but he doesn't necessarily know where the drone came from. So Doom still got to keep the course. Still got to poke to the left and the right, and I think he's not quite seen that Overlord. There we go. I really got to tape the perspective buttons down. There we go. Now he sees what he needs to see. He sees the movement of things happening. Where's my perspectives? I have buttons for these. There we go. This is bottom. I'm learning things every day. Oh, that's a new button.
Queen's ready. Here comes a new challenger.
Okay, cool. So as it turns out, there is a button on here that will give you the perspective of the currently selected player. So I don't have to guess every time what I'm looking at. So well done. Well done, me. It was an excellent baneling hit there. Clearing out that natural. Getting some great damage done there. Boo absolutely could steamroll this as more and more lings being produced. Spine Crawler being forced out of Doom here as lings get into the base. Get the Spine Crawler. Get the Queen. Baneling hit into the mineral line. More banelings on the way. A defensive bang actually still being attacked here. Is going to lose to that one ling. Boo doing a fantastic job of controlling this engagement. More lings still in the base. More banelings being morphed in. Throwing away a couple of lings there to a bane. This back and forth action. It is 13 to 14 workers. Not the end of the game, and not enough damage has been created by Boo. But if he can kind of maintain this momentum, at a minimum, mining time is consistently being lost here. There we go. There's a baneling being morphed in by Doom. Two being caught at the bottom of the ramp there. They're going to have to cancel and run away, as it looks like the defender's advantage is going to push him back. Some lings in the middle of the map might not be exactly where Boo wants them right now. Maybe a little bit of a mistake there. As we take a look, it does look like he's rallied them all the way to the middle. A little bit of all army speed might help him right now. As a handful of Banes trying to push up the middle. There he goes. He gets them all captured on a hotkey, brings him in. It does look like he's gonna get some decent Bane explosions there. Picks off one. Trade for 1 to 3. It's okay. It's not the worst fight you could take. He's gonna get a couple Baneling cancels there. And these Banes in the front here, moving up the ramp. Leading the charge, these lings deciding to collapse in on these morphing Banes. Good catch there as he's able to get him before they move. All this missed mining time. World of Doom is still in a difficult position. He's got the worker advantage, but those couple of workers aren't doing anything. Aren't doing anything for him right at this moment. And there's 2 workers going down now. More in the fight as lings continue to morph around, continue to be sent across the map. Doom, who was praised for his micro earlier, finding some tough fights here with these banelings. More and more of Boo banelings trying to find a good position. There's your GG. Taps out. Boo takes game number 2, and looks like we're going to go into game number 3. All right then, we do that. We get game number 3 right away. Turns out this maybe was an actual game, and it's Acid Plant. LE. As we move into the last game of the best of 3 of the winners match, the winner here will leave the group, and the loser will have to go into the decider match at the end of the cast, playing the winner of the loser match, GSL style. Alright, spawning in the top left-hand corner, the red Zerg, it is Boo. His opponent in the bottom right-hand corner, the blue Zerg, it is World is Doom. Praised for his micro, couldn't handle the very excellently executed pressure, continuous, unrelenting pressure that was Boo earlier today. A couple great baneling hits here. Now what we do have is a drone, a very quick scout here. Looks like he's hungry for information really early on. He does not want to be surprised. He does not want to find himself losing the cheese here. So it's a good call for him. Alright, looks like he is going to see the natural. Nope, headset. It's so hot in here, I had to take off the hat. Now I'm wearing no all-in gear, and I feel a little naked. But the drone is going to come back now. He's going to try to recover some of that lost mining time, as this was simply a hatch gas pool from Boo. Now, we have seen some sneakier plays here with the fast spawning pool, but it does look like he opts to expand. the spawning pool finished up, speed going, and not an immediate flood of Ling. So looks like it may have just been a safety pool. He's going to hang back on the Ling production for a little bit while he continues to focus on his economy, getting his queens up, not wanting to sacrifice anything further for that overly cautious play, but dropping the Baneling Nest right away. Unless this is aggressive, it does feel like Doom is on the back foot. He's not necessarily playing the game he likes to play. He's playing the game that gives him the best chance of not losing. Not necessarily the game that gives him the best chance of winning, just the game that gives him the chance of not losing. At a minimum, he wants to get to the stage of the game where he can play what he wants to play. But right now, you can kind of see his reactions. He's being a little more cautious. There we go. Fast spawning pool for some appropriately timed Lings. The spawning pool was out first, but Boo had units out a little earlier doing the standard play. And you can kind of see how this is affecting gameplay. A couple more workers for Boo. He can afford to take some losses in a fight. And Boo looks like he's going to continue to keep this worker advantage. Throwing down a really fast Roach Warren here. That's going to get spotted right away by Doom. As response here really will dictate the flow of this game. Does he want to play the Roach game with Boo, or there you go. He has decided. Took a moment. He's decided to switch into the Roach game. He's throwing down a handful more drones, and the Roach Warren in his own base. And there he is, getting into another base. +1 Carapace there. Yeah, I like it. I like Carapace in this game right now. He gives a bonus both to his Lings and to his Roaches, and he can drop that evolution chamber a little earlier, and not necessarily make the wrong decision, not overcommit to one unit comp or another if he has to deal with a flood of Lings and shifting the Ling Bane, even though he wants to go into Roaches, and did fairly quickly here. Taking a quick look, like speed's going to be finishing soon. +1's going to be finishing soon. If this is a timing attack, well done, absolutely perfectly executed. Let's see what he saw. He did see the evolution chamber, so he kind of knows what's coming. As the Lings start to march out, handful of Lings. Approximately 21 Lings moving out in the battlefield right now. Gonna find some damage. As we've seen, a small number of Lings do a pretty good job of finding damage. There's the Lings that want the Banes. Excellent usage there from Boo, splitting off Lings to catch Banes unaware. Ooh, fantastic hits though. He's able to get the third hatchery. But took some damage along the way. Boo still sitting as the aggressor, still standing on top as the as in the lead a bit here. Just a little bit of army, a little bit of worker. He's got the economic lead now that the third base of World's Doom has been taken down, and handful of Lings still on the map, doing some patrolling, doing a little bit of splitting. There we go, trying to really cover the vision on the map. It looks like that third base now is currently being used to produce larvae to produce roaches, so he's not focusing so much on the economy right now. It looks like that third base is giving a little bit of confidence in army production. He's going to want to move across this map now with what's soon to be +1/+1 roaches versus +1 roaches. So the Lings he managed to keep alive. The roaches that are in the fight really becoming a scary force here. Now, not to say that Doom is in too difficult a position. He has a lot of forces on his side of the map. He has some Banelings to handle, some good micro to handle the Lings. He's got a sizable force of his own, and if the fight takes place on his side of the map, he's at an even better advantage. It does look like he's considering pushing the issue, morphing a couple Banelings back on his side of the map, as it's kind of a passing. It was units. There we go. This handful of Lings now aware and tracking locations. Ooh, perfect number of Lings to try to settle into those Banelings. But now the forces are kind of split. We have a handful running into reinforcements up here. Doom actually finding himself in an interesting position here. It's hard to tell if this is where he wants to be or should be. Even the force of Boo is a little split. Both forces kind of reinforcing it and caught in weird spots on the map here. Boo forcing back a handful of Doom's units, and then Doom coming back on the second end, realizing he can shave off a couple more roaches over here. Excellent control here from Doom as he's managing two sections of an army, but he's going to have to retreat. This is not an army size. This is going to be a shaving of roaches now from Boo, as Doom sends a handful of units, kind of tossing them in the middle here, trying to find a good avenue of approach to either assist or support. And it does look like he's going to meet him in the middle. He's going to send the wings down, try to shave them off as they run by. And Ling's actually hoping to get some damage on the other side of the map. Finds no drones at the base for him to handle. Both of them have been really focused on the army. And to this point, 42 to 40 workers. Looks like World's Doom chasing Boo now back and forth across the map. A little bit indecisive about what kind of fights they want to take. It is still 1-1. The technology still favors Boo, so even if he's slightly behind, he can find himself getting a commanding lead. And if Doom finds himself trapped at the wrong moment, this could be the end of the game for him. Kind of using the hatchery as an escape point, but the numbers here aren't supporting this fight, as Doom is really hoping that the +2. I really seem to be relying on the +2, but it's not quite here yet. Boo trying to finish this game off, continuing to rally units across the map. A couple of them staying back to hit the hatchery, and they'll potentially catch any workers or any units that try to rally across. It looks like he's going to snipe the Roach Warren, and that is huge. Nothing but Lings now, at least until that is remade, as Boo maybe overextending, but we'll see where this fight takes, as +2's going to be finishing up soon for World is Doom. Alright, canceling on that one Ravager. Very bruised roaches now. And actually, interesting question. I don't know if they can morph without a Roach Warren. If you know in chat, please let me know. There goes the Biles. +2 a little early. This is like the anti-timing here. +2 is 2 seconds away from finishing. Even the playing field quite a bit here. It is now complete, and we'll see if that's enough to hold on. It does look like the Roach Warren is back up. I bought him a little bit of time, and it looks like he's going to try to run away and snipe the third while he's at it. He's going to get it. And there go the Broodlings. It's free damage at the end of every Zerg base. So interesting move here. Missed an opportunity there. He's going to cancel all the Ravagers as the Roaches continue to march up the front. And Boo is really looking to push the issue here, hoping to close this out and take the win. Either one of these players wanting to get out of their group here have an excellent chance to close this out. Even pulling the drones. It looks like he might. Wait, hard to tell. Hard to tell as the fight swings back to the other side. Drones pulled back from the fight. As defender's advantage is, hard to tell. Is really overextending here. Misses opportunity to snipe that queen. But this fight is just a dance. Continuingly moving units back and forth across the map. Looks like they're going to be equal in upgrades. In a little bit now. World of Doom started the +1 Carapace. Boo started the +2 ranged. If he could get a couple Overlords while he's at it, but it doesn't look like he has time to morph anything. Picking up a couple roaches there before he has to retreat. And if he pushes this issue, it should work out in his favor. He's holding the advantage in worker. He's holding the advantage in army. And maybe this is his game to lose if he continues to push it. Or maybe it's his to win if he keeps the pressure on and never lets his opponent get a footing again. It does look like he's going to pull back. He won some more Ravagers in this fight. He sits at the top of the ramp. And Doom here, taking the bad ramp engagement. Ooh, some okay connections there. Not quite getting a kill. The Roach in the back of the formation. That's some good biles. Going to finish off one roach, shaving it down again. As the army size of Boo continues to grow and he continues to push across the map, even squeezing out some more drones in the middle of all this. Ooh, that supply block's going to be massive. He's going to have to 5 more overlords on the way. 2 more overseers being morphed from overlords. As he's pushing an advantage, he really doesn't want to slow down the production. That was a great hit. I'm not sure if Doom knows how much advantage that pulled. He sneaks a couple roaches there into the main. You can see him squeezing by as the fights are are being taken now on 2 fronts. His roaches getting some damage on the other side, getting another cancel off that 3rd base. Boo begins to move forward, continuing to push the issue. So many roaches, biles just moving right past him, threw them under him, tight squeeze in places, and it looks like roaches even going into the main, hoping to get some damage done, preventing reinforcements from joining in. Some biles hitting on the Boo's army as Boo continues to push forward. Heavily bruised roaches. We call them Ravager candidates now, in very precarious position on the front of Boo's army. It looks big, but it is very fragile right now. As more and more biles getting closed down. His thing, even if Boo loses this army, even if he trades it indiscriminately, he's still got a 23 worker lead. As long as he can remake fast enough. Doom pushing across the map now. It's just been so hard to break. Doom has been very defensive. Ooh, excellent hit on the overseers. Boo though making so many overlords. Not a huge deficit there. But he's continuing being pushed back, even though now he's maintaining an army advantage. They're just in the wrong position. You see the overlords now, as the rally point set them a little bit forward, put them in a very dangerous position. That is how many he's made recently. Again, a lot of Ravager candidates in this army. As he pushes up the ramp, Lord of Doom stops, decides to take the fight. Biles being pushed. I'm not sure if those were his own biles or not, but holding to defend his 3rd base. Boo pushing the issue, moving forward. Roach is trying to pinch from both sides. Reinforcements, again, Ravager candidates up there. He's going to get the cancel yet again. A 4th base now for Boo, who's holding back. Army. There's the GG, and Boo takes the series and is the first one to advance out of the group stage in the All-Invitational. Well done, and congratulations to Boo. It was a very, very good game. Held very well. So, excellent, as we get to see more of your play into the future. And jumping back up, we now get to go look at the we called the losers match. We watched Pisosa and Nordy earlier get knocked out in the first round, and now they are competing for a spot in the decider match. So, quick look here, and let's get into game number 1. Let's get right into this on 16-bit. I don't think we've seen 16-bit. We've seen 16-bit once. So, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the top right-hand corner, the red Zerg representing all inspiration. It is Pierre Sosa. His opponent, also representing all inspiration, in the light blue, the Protoss, Nordy. Alright, take a look at our massively zoomed out camera angle. Not a lot of, I don't see this used very often, but this part of the map here, very dangerous. What we deal with here is a lot of drops. A lot of things coming through. We see some Niduses planted here. We can see Overlord drops here. And this is theoretically the safe 3rd base for both these players. Or for the Zerg player. Excuse me. The safe 2nd base, which allows the Protoss, been watching too many Zerg, allows the Protoss to create a good solid wall here rather than forcing himself in this area. So he secures us an easy 2nd, pushes out later to secure a 3rd once he has the units to hold it. The Zerg, on the other hand, pushes forward. He wants creep moving ahead, and this becomes his 3rd base. But it does look like Pisosa is very confident. He's going to go 3 hatch before pool. There goes the pool. So very, you know what? It's just something you can do. Mild analysis here. You have some time before you have to worry about Protoss moving across the map. Now you can deal, as long as you can deal with the Adept, the early Adept pressure, you should be fine. And he's here we go. I like this on 20. So it's checking for pylons. Probably the latest you want to do it is at 20 supply. Checking for anything really too crazy. Now, Nordy here, realizing he has some breathing room. What does he decide to do with it? Does he decide to expand on his own? Which, kind of a very difficult proposition for Protoss. Even though Zerg took a very quick third, it's very hard to secure this, especially when you started your wall way back here on the small ramp. So interesting here is this was the safe position, but now it's kind of prevented him from being greedy himself. So I'm taking a quick look around. Let's see if we can get a look. You got 3 queens on the way. No gas yet. So we have started a gasless start, really focusing on drone production here. You know, a little greedy, but it seems to be paying off so far. There is no immediate aggression coming across the other side. There's a quick Twilight Council, so nope, Twilight into a Robo. So he's going Twilight opening. So we'll see what he decides to do with this. As the first evolution chamber goes down, gas is being taken out too. Straight in the forward base, even. One of the most exposed bases, Pierre Sosa's decided to take the least safe gas. So we'll see if that pays off for him. A little bit of conversation there in the chat. Doom and Drum, welcome again. Thanks for watching. It is, if you practice drunk, then you should only play drunk. Like, just play drunk StarCraft 24/7. See how far you can get. A little bit of damage there on the Overlord as he's throwing himself in to get information. He's going to see some gateways. He's going to see the quick warp prism. So, what he probably won't see, and this might be it's probably mass zealots, right? It's definitely staged to be mass zealots. It's the gateway explosion right there that he did miss just momentarily. So it looks like we are going to see how well Pasosa can hold this back. With a little bit of a slow start, he spotted it. Let's see what he starts to do with it. Not really spotted. Did he identify it? It's really, I guess it's this he wants to see, right? So he missed a key opportunity there for scouting. Came in a little early. And good on Nordy for holding back on dropping all those gateways until he had already taken care of the overboard. So we kind of got to pay attention to the production tab up here for Pasosa. So we only want to see his best defense is roaches. He only needs roaches and queens. Roaches and queens. All his money should be in the roaches and queens. If he starts to drone up, he's going to be in a difficult position. So we'll see if he interpreted that right. I do see some good roach production. He's there we go. More roaches. The Zealots start to move across the map. The warp prism is on the way. Even bringing an immortal along. So we'll see how well this gets juggled. Zealot legs is finished. Roach up. There's some drones. He snuck in some drones. We'll see if that's see if he pays for that. 5 Zealots being morphed in. This has not been seen yet. They crossed the threshold, and the roaches being pulled back. They realize now that their walls, Zergs and walls. This immortal is going to poke at this. This might just be game over here. But we'll watch, see how well he handles this fight. As the immortal kind of sits out of the fight a bit. It's been held off a little bit. This warp prism needs to go. The queen's moving forward to tag it. That's a very bad thing to lose. The warp prism goes down, and that's going to be the end. That's going to be the end of that aggression. And as long as he doesn't take any more damage here, already remaking the Roach Warren. It looks like Pasosa. I called it a little early, but Pasosa going to do just fine. And this immortal, poor immortal. If he can get off the creep. Oh, there's the recall. 10 hit points left, and if the roaches had just decided to move forward, they would have gotten that. They for some reason halted. A couple of them halted back there, and he didn't get the full force of it on it. So interesting that when the recall starts, things stop chasing you. I think that's what happened. It might have been an attack command that was somewhere here. And then it was bad placement. But excellent held there by Pisosa. You always got to focus on that warp prism. And if I'm wrong on anything, you can blame Drum because he told me that. Alright, so taking a quick look around. +2. He's starting +2, +1. So 2-1 upgrades here for the Roaches. They're going to get very dangerous very quickly. And this third base, as Pisosa puts down a fourth base, he's denied the immediate third base. And it looks like we're going to try round 2 here. 9 Roaches being morphed in. It looks like Pisosa a little better able to handle this. Even got the Hydralisk Den out if he so decides to start pushing them out. And there goes the Zealots. They've been spotted. He's going to meet them and engage them, giving them room to charge in. We'll see what decides to be targeted here. Does he pull the upgrades? Does he wait for another round of warp ins? The Zealots are in there though. That is a lot of Zealots. Again, in a very dangerous position. Round 2 of the really just committed to the Zealots. And with these upgrades, the cost of upgrades is Roaches. There are a lot less Roaches on the field than there would have been had he known this pressure was coming a second time. And we're starting to lose drones now. The Roaches are gone. Zealots are focusing drones. Only a handful of Roaches, on the battlefield. All the zooming Zealot legs, you see them getting so much damage done, but nothing putting damage on that. Warp Prism anymore. Some Hydras now being made. Another Queen, handful of Roaches. There's another warp in. That's actually the Roaches coming in just enough numbers to handle that. But we really need to see those Hydras hit the field to push away that Warp Prism. But it looks like it's going to decide it's time to go. And then another excellent hold where twice now I thought Pisosa was done. Twice now I thought that was the end of it. But we'll see what continues to happen. Does he protect his Hydras enough? Because this attack isn't over yet. This is an all-in. There is no third base. GG, well played. Nordy taps out. Pisosa takes game number 1. Well done. Excellently played, Pisosa. Much more what we come to expect from you there. So we're gonna go jump into game number 2 right away. We're just zooming into these. We've been going for 2 hours now. Oh, there's some buttons and some buttons to press, ladies and gentlemen. Spawning in the top right hand corner, the Red Zerg, having taken game number 1. It is Pisosa. His opponent in the bottom left-hand corner, the light blue, actually just the regular blue Protoss. It is Nordy. I say when they on this skin, this is a definitely a silver probe here. That looks a lot lighter, but no, that is a regular blue. This is red versus blue. We're in to game number 2. Pisosa only having to take this one game off to win. Now, if we take a look over Pisosa, interesting thing, another fast spawning pool. This time the opposite play. So last time he was very greedy. He took three hatch before pool. This time, very fast spawning pool. He took the spawning pool before the first Overlord. Spawning pool finishes up. He immediately makes 6 lings. This has been spotted by Nordy. His immediate response is to take a natural. So, interesting proposition here. He stuck with his game plan. He feels comfortable enough with these lings that they're going to be walking across the map. So just stick with his normal build. Usually this is the decision point for a lot of Protoss on whether they wall up or drop the Nexus. So we'll see if this pays off or not. We'll see what kind of damage this creates. Now this he's going to see a third. We'll see what his read is here, and he's going to deny it for a little bit. And we're going to have a little bit of worker fight. And it looks like the drone's going to get to set his third up, but these lings, they're coming up, and they're coming up hot. This is a wide open pylon here, and the first couple pylons are very important This is going to stop so much. He's going to have to pull the probes to answer this, and this is going to be a game of micro. Can we... All the research is stopped, the development of this adept has been stopped. 5 probes going down, 7 probes going down, 9, 10 probes going down. As Pisosa's doing game-ending damage here. There's a GG. Nordy taps out, and that is it. He finishes in under 3 minutes. Pisosa moves on to the deciders match. GG! Excellent. Well played there, Pisosa. Good job. Moving out of that very quickly, and you see that is a not real game number 3. So the last series of the day in Group A is the finals match. This is the deciders match, as it were. Which, we should rename that in future folders, but this is World is Doom versus Pisosa. Only one of them can leave the group. Boo has already secured the first slot. Which one of these players is going to do it next time on All-Invitational? No, this time actually. Right now, as we just hit the button that lets us watch the game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the top right-hand corner. World is Doom. His opponent in the top left-hand corner, Pierre Sosa. Now, interesting, was this game played first? Because, wait, they wouldn't have, wait a minute, can you play? You can't play the same person twice in Decider match, can you? Am I forgetting? Words are hard. So anyway, in this Decider match, one of them was surprised by fireworks, as if they hadn't been playing. Ooh, maybe the spread out of the games. See, that's it. So in some of the first games we watched, the fireworks weren't happening when they played, only when we watched, because we're watching the replay during the 8th anniversary. I get it. I bet there would be party hats if this was last year. Okay. Yep. Nope. I'm less confused. One of them was just surprised by fireworks, threw me off. I'm back. I'm here. I'm all here. So, what we have? Yep. Hatchcast pool over here for World is Doom. Looks like fast 3 hatch before pool here for Pisosa. So taking advantage of this, taking advantage of the very large map and the lack of scouting information. Looks like Pisosa knows now where his opponent is, and World of Doom just has a pretty good. They both know. They both passed. So yeah, they both know where each other are at, as long as they're paying even a modicum of attention. It does look like Pierre and Doom are redirecting their overlords to get to a better position to keep the intelligence flowing. Now, taking a look around this map, this is again a defensive map. We're talking about a natural protected by a ramp, even a third protected by ramps, even though it's very open and very exposed. And going for gas on the low ground. Easier to defend, I guess. We've seen that twice now, kind of the forward gas here. But so far, playing out, this seems to be the game each of them wanted to play. Nobody's forcing each other. Ooh, I take that back. There is a spine crawler. Doom feeling maybe a little threatened up here. Going to go for defensive crawler. But there is nothing immediately coming right now, as Pisosa just continues to ramp up the economy. Pumping out more and more drones. There goes a very quick roach warren. So we'll see what kind of game Doom wants to play. It looks like he wants to play a roach game. Pierre is in Pisosa's in chat. So Got Quail is wondering why from the chat. It's always great when you can cast these after the fact, get a little bit of insight from the players as you watch this. So very cool to see as we kind of watch this game unfold in an interesting direction. Very quick roaches, 2 base roaches, 2 bases and roaches. Roaches starting to be pumped out, 3 now, and we'll see if this is a full-on aggression really quickly here. Pasosa got a very important Overlord here. This might be King Overlord. Determine whether or not this is a short game for him or not. If this wasn't here, if this wasn't there to scout the information, see the push out, this would be maybe a whole different story. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's stop talking about the end of the game while we continue to watch this unfold before our eyes. You know what? Hey, continuing to pump out drones. Bravo. Like 3 more drones on the way. Take a quick look at the units tab. It is 5 roaches, 2. 5 roaches, 2 lings to 2 lings. Like only these first 2 lings have ever been produced from Pasosa, and what he's going to see now is this move out. Oops. Yeah, I gotta like hold that there. Cool. All right. He sees the move out. It gets big, and in response, he's going to start pumping out 1 roach. Here, 2 roach. There's 2 roaches coming out. So, you know, what's the plan of attack here? Does Doom go for the 3rd? Does he march right up the ramp and hope he has the army advantage? He's continuing. Pasosa now. Oh, excuse me, I was reading the wrong roaches. Anyway, a handful of roaches now coming out for Pasosa. At the top of the ramp with a little bit of concave, even a pincer maneuver down here as he actually goes to support his buddies at the bottom of the ramp. World is Doom maneuvering around them and getting a few roaches shaved off for his effort. Now this is fantastic for Pasosa, responding at the last possible moment. And really getting all the economy. You look at the army, the worker value, we're just now having Doom trying to catch up in workers, but also now having to respond to this threat that might just be moving across the map to end the game. Do you pump out a couple more workers to make sure you're not behind, like Doom is doing, hoping your opponent doesn't want to go for the throat, or do you pump out more and more roaches? It looks like this might be that might have been the wrong decision there, as he popped out about 4 drones out of this. But these are potential Ravengers over here. Ravenger candidates, very low on health. So Pasosa now knocking at the front door with the 3 base advantage. He's actually going to come over here. It looks like he's going to get the cancel on this 3rd. And he's going to find himself on the top of a ramp to take a pretty good fight. Doom having to pull back here in a very precarious position. Really though, he was on the march to take advantage of a very greedy build, and then just found himself just outmatched in a bad position on a fight. But still, anybody's game. Don't let me get ahead of myself. I really like the position Pasosa's in, but you know, Doom has bought him enough time sacking the 3rd base. He has the capability to hold here, even with this spine crawl at the top. Is going to be not only something throwing damage down, but a physical barrier to keep Pasosa from really getting the spread that he wants. So if he can bait a couple free roaches out of here like he's doing, retreat up the top of the ramp and take the fight up here, he may do pretty well. Alright, looks like we have a Spire going on. Spire now about a 3rd of the way done for Doom. Looks like he's looking for an alternate exit out of here, as Pasosa taking a bold 4th. Really, I guess the only 4th option, unless you really want to come down here into some location you can't defend. But bold is in, the timing is early, and the aggression is on. So as he retreated, he dropped that down, dropped out a couple more drones, and it looks like he's trying to build up to a more complex technical army. Dropping some more roaches, Ravengers in there. Now, as soon as these mutas come out, will he be able to get them enough of a number that matters? Is he going to try to use them to get some to get all over the map? Time will tell. It looks like he's not winning this roach war. Pasosa confident to move right up this ramp. He's going to get both of the spine crawlers swarming all over the roaches. They're in a very dangerous position. Getting the drones out of there now. Now the mutas start to come out in good numbers, but there are so many roaches. It might not even matter the armor of these roaches just be the end of it. There goes the second base, even taking fights against broodlings. What does he do now? A lot of that army in weird position, sitting on the top trying to get away from the mutas. Kind of split up his army a little bit. Some control mistakes here. But these mutas aren't necessarily a lot. It's not a lot of damage here being pushed on these very heavily armored archers. You can just get them move up and do the kind of damage that they're free to do when nothing can stand in their way. So many drones falling. 18 drones down now. Looks like the mute is still being made. He's not even trying to do roaches. And why would you? You can't pop out enough roaches to beat this. There's a GG. Pisosa takes game number 1. All right. So when I did all the name changes and all the maybes, I don't even remember which games are which. So I couldn't even tell you if this was 2 games, 3 games. We're gonna get right into game number 2. Pisosa taking a very commanding game number 1. Very greedy, but it paid off, and that's the best kind of greed. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner, the blue Zerg. It is World is Doom. Had an excellent plan, almost a perfectly timed aggression. Just found himself on the back foot to what was a massive war machine that ended up being Pisosa's 3 hatch before gas. Just didn't punish it quite quickly enough. His opponent in the top left-hand corner, Pisosa, the war machine, who says, "I'm not as good as Doom. I have to take those advantages." Now sits in the top right left-hand corner. It's Pisosa. Woo! We're gonna get there, ladies and gentlemen. Pisosa goes for the 17 hatch, very standard opening. But on the other end, he's facing a very fast spawning pool. We'll see if this is an aggressive spawning pool or a safety spawning pool now. Time will tell. And it does look like he's going to at least secure a natural. I do like the safety spawning pools. And there's your 300 minerals there, little buddy. So not a lot to take a look at now. We do have... he's not opting for the third base before the pool this time around. Pisosa playing much more regular opening. And that's while this unfolds, we'll take again another look at the map. This is a very large main base. Again, a lot of spaces here for drops, especially Zerg don't normally get a lot of vision around their main base, so very vulnerable areas if they're not paying attention. And a little bit of dead space here for escapes and getaways from drops. On the other end, it's still, again, we talked about this map before, Catalyst, very wide open from the natural. This opening favors the aggressor. And, it's not always a huge advantage or disadvantage. We talk about the opening into the natural. We saw in the last, what we did see in the last game, that it was a more defensible position for World is Doom at the top of the ramp. Able to get Conclave, able to get Spore Crawler down in that area. And it kept them alive a little longer than this opening would have. This would have been a much quicker game for Pisosa. But then again, on this map, he can't pull off the 3 hatch before pool gasless opening. He has to be a little more standard. He's got even got a Spine Crawler up. He's feeling the potential for pressure. And with 8 lings on the map, or 10 lings on the map and 8 more on the way, am I doing the math wrong? Let's just go with 14 now and 12 more on the way. This Spine Crawler is a necessity, but I don't know if he knows how much of a necessity it is as he goes into a Roach Warren. Roach Warren about halfway done now. That's a big investment this early in the game when there are this many lings marching across the map. It's 26 lings total on the map with several more on the way. A couple more on the way as they're going to get in. They're going to start getting some damage done. And that's not even the full blunt of them, as most of Pisosa's army now has been pulled to try to deal with them. All the things having to be transferred. He's actually going straight for the main base. We're not trying to take down the third. We're not trying to take down a natural that's undefended. He's going to shift Pisosa's army from the main to the natural. run away from the broodlings. Don't give them the free damage. And now he's going to come in and try to get some roaches for his trouble. The drones are having to be pulled. Pisosa in a very dangerous position here, having lost his main. And there's still lings being made. There's still lings flooding across. And that's not enough roaches to end the game right now. That is a lot of drones, though. Not even enough drones to fully utilize the base. You could kill 10 drones and it wouldn't actually change the economy right now. Finding the spine crawler alone for a little bit. World of Doom pulls back, and he looks like he might sit on his advantage for just a little bit. Still a dangerous place to walk into here. Looks like he's long distance gas mining. That's an interesting proposition, and these lings are going to get in here and they get a little bit of damage done. These buildings need a hatchery, though. They're starting to lose life just existing. And we'll see if that's something. We'll see if that's something that he recovers from or not. Yeah, free damage now. Even having to pull roaches from the front to deal with this damage. But even the little bit he's tagged onto it, it's constantly nice. We can see it's now at 600 life and shrinking. He's got to put 300 minerals down, or he's going to lose that. Look, see him already throwing down another roach warren rather than trying to save this one. So it doesn't look like he's going to recommit to taking that main base. Interesting position here as lings continue to float across the map. Nothing else has been built in Doom's base. Take a quick look around. Baneling Nest. Baneling Nest has been built, but it's been nothing but production here, and he's forced his opponent to long distance mine from a gas. He's actually on 3 gas now, so 3 and a long distance mining gas, and he's gonna Pierre's gonna try to move across the map now. This is it. He has to do some damage here. If he loses this army, he can't. He won't be able to keep up with Doom's forces, but really, I've seen it before. This should be an easy enough thing for Doom to hold. He's got the army to do it, and we'll watch it now. And Banelings crash into the back. A little bit of good control there, pulling him into the lings and pulling him back into the roaches. There we go. That was all that Pierre had at the moment, and he's even now having to push together some more lings. The spawning pool now may be saved just in time as the hatchery is now in development. So we'll keep an eye on that. 270 health right now, and shrinking. A couple more pokes on that, he could pop it. It does look like it will be safe, but even then it will be low on health. Alright, a little bit of dancing there with the banelings and the lings, trying to find some damage. Doom definitely wants to end this game. He doesn't want to give his opponent a chance to come back. There goes the banelings, deciding for a little bit indecisive, only getting a handful of drones because of the indecisive nature of that. The spawning pool stopped losing health at 134, but it does look like 6 more drones went down. Pisosa now down to 14 drones. Only 11 on the minerals, and it looks like he's no longer having to long distance mine. More lings here from Doom popping up here to the front. You're gonna get that queen. Absolutely great kickoff there. 2 queens. Now it's the GG. Pisosa taps out, and World of Doom takes game number 2, and we're gonna get to go to 3 games into this series. All right. One more game. It is game 3. World is Doom versus Pisosa. This one's going to take place on Dreamcatcher. This one's for the money. This is the last game. This is the decider match. The winner of this will leave the group and get to continue on the All-Invitational. The other one has to wait until All-Invitational number 15. Spawning in the top left-hand corner, the blue Zerg. World is Doom. His opponent. In the bottom right-hand corner, the red Zerg. It is Pisosa. Two Zergs facing off, trying to leave their groups. Only one will survive. Alright, looks like we're getting World is Doom's fast spawning pool and Pisosa's hatch. Mirror openings to the last game, but will it be mirror results? Or does Pisosa have something up his sleeve? Hatch gas pool out of Pisosa. Taking a quick look around this map while the situation develops. This one's a little bit more of a safer main. It does have some drop area, but it's forward towards the enemy and forward towards the expansion, so it's a harder base to get into and drop. A lot of dead space in the back, though. Access to the rear of your mineral line in the main is a threat. And really the same thing we talked about in the main over here. There's space here, but it is protected, vision-wise at least. On the third, it does look like Pisos is going to opt for that fast third base. And this is also a very defender-friendly map, not only for those safer drop areas, but we're talking about a ramp, a small ramp, slightly larger than the one into the main, but still a small ramp in the natural. Even a ramp that is pretty easily funneled, made smaller by evolution chambers or queens. You can create a good choke point there, or even a straight wall. A handful of links here from Doom getting in, trying to find some information. They're going to see the mailing nest. And then they're going to get out of here. In response to that, we see Bangling nest going down. Kind of, you can see that in the beginning of that wall. You can see if he wants to choke this out, or maybe even just spread the creep forward a little bit. Ling war is going on over here. There's a couple lings chase around Doom's lings. They're going to get him, and then it looks like opting to take down the wall. Good call here. This does is knocks one of the three avenues of approach here for the enemy. He's got to come either from the south here, through this choke point, or from the north, giving him at least a little warning. With properly positioned overwards, there's less area or space to cover, at least as long as you're watching the wall, right? So the enemy can, of course, break down this wall and continue right through the middle, but you'll see it. You can prepare for it, or they have to go the long way, cutting off the time it takes for reinforcements, really reinforcing the defender's advantage. But we do have a large move out here. Queens, actually, it's just Queens pursuing an overlord and a handful of things floating around the corner of the map. Either getting in position, maybe he wants to do something with it. We'll keep an eye on those, keep a tab on those. But alright, so coming from this side, we have two roach warrens, and a cancellation of the what is these roach warrens? Somebody in chat noticed them before I did. I imagine one of those was supposed to be an Evo chamber, but at least now it acts as a wall, as we have a little bit of a scuffle coming on down here. A couple of banelings trying to find some lovely connections. Go to misconnections on misconnections in the newspaper. Baneling seeking Zerg love. Alright, so they're actually going to continue all the way up to the main base. We're going to have some queens up here. Going to do a pretty good job of catching that. Did you know if you have double the roach wardens, you still can't make double the roaches? Bam. I'm sure Doom will tell us in just a moment that was a mistake and it meant to be an Evo chamber. But I wonder how long it took them to notice. Alright, so we have lings are everywhere. Now, there are roaches. Roaches can handle this, but they can't be everywhere at once. And these roaches, these lings are flooding in everywhere at once. So look, he's actually going to get the lair. That's a great catch here. At least it doesn't free up the, it doesn't stop the upgrade at least. But it's gonna kill mining. It's gonna kill tech advancement. World of Doom either needs to take his legs out from under him and move out, or he's gonna have to really work to rebuild here. We're dealing with a 1 base Zerg versus a 3 base Zerg at the 6-minute mark now. A layer has been taken out, and this is why a lot of people, I think, opt for layer in the natural. It's easier to defend. It's closer to the wall. There's the Evo chamber going down now. A double Evo chamber going for a full wall. I think that's a full wall. Give himself some time to recover. Opting to do some long distance mining and move across the map. This is a lovely choke. That's gotta feel safe. Lings, though, back in the game now. Nope, it is not a full wall. And they're gonna see, this is why you get 2 Roachborns, so you can kill one. They can kill one and still make roaches. So you have Lings kind of everywhere in this base, and all the army was home, and they opted to come back. Nope, get a council in the main. Looks like the roaches are hoping to clean this up before it goes down, but it is 40. Oh, not 40. I thought it was a drone I clicked on. Looks like they're going to get it. And they're going to fall to the roaches now. World of Doom now set back yet again. Not even opting to work on the layer over here in the main base. He's focusing on pumping out roaches. Now he wants to move across the map. Now he wants to deal with the opponent. Now this is it. I think this is an all-in maneuver here. He's got to pump out nothing but roaches. Walk across the map and try to end this game. Zerg OP in ZBZ says the way out is through. Zerg very OP, John, very OP. Alright, so he comes in a good concave here from Pisosa. Now he might not win this fight, but he's going to do some decent damage. Actually, he's pushing through, trying to skip right over to the drones, making this more of a run-by than a final engagement. So I guess it looks like he wants to do some crippling damage, kind of spread that out so it's not just him. So maybe he can formulate a comeback. So this wasn't an all-in. This looks like he's just trying to slow his opponent down, so he can buy himself some time. But he's going to throw away these roaches to do it. We'll see what it costs him. I see more roaches coming up, poking a little bit at the Roachborn. And of that squad, 4 get out, and they didn't get to do a lot of damage. Getting a handful of queens, it's good. Getting some drones. Actually getting 12 drones so far. It's going to even up the worker count at a minimum. And it is, let's not underestimate, keeping the fight on the other side of the map. Now Doom, doing a lot of microing right here, has banked 1,000 minerals. So behind this, he's not particularly well suited to follow up. He could have so much more out on the map, or he could have expanded or teched up a little bit. But it seems to be maybe at his limit right now. So we'll see what happens here. Ooh, burrow. Okay. He's going to burrow his roaches. We'll help them regen a little bit while reinforcements arrive. He's going to pick them back up and move around. Now let's take a quick peek at the damage that was done. We're still at kind of he's definitely short workers on the main. Queens are being reproduced still. So a little short on queens. If I take the units tab, yeah, only 2 queens out of what I would say you want 3. But looks like we might get a pincer. Is he trying to, work his way around, take the high ground, trying to get some damage done. Back into the main he goes with a handful of these roaches. Looks like he's going to get another queen and pop out a few more drones. So excellent, absolutely excellent harassment here, coming from a very far behind position. Doom is doing a really good job of trying to equalize this fight. Even still, it's going to be a hard road to follow, because this is it. This is the army he has. There is not much on the other side. It's 14 roaches. Of that, what's that, 10 are here? A couple are right there. A very dangerous position, but he is pulling Pisosa in so many directions. Alright, so we take a look at tech. Pisosa does have +1. He does have the larger army. He does have the larger worker supply, and he's going to be able to produce more larvae. So Doom finds himself in a very very dangerous position here. He's got to find damage. Yeah, there we go. Doom now says, yeah, it was supposed to be an Evo. I saw it, and I was like, fuck. Guess I'm going tunneling claws, he says, really committing down to it. So it looks like he didn't even notice until it was completed, and that makes sense. All buildings look very similar while they're in the evolution, and when it pops, you're going to be a little surprised. But Doom, again, being pushed around. Pasosa just needs to kick back, I think, here, and really just work on building up his army. He's gonna have a bigger one. Doom looks like he's trying to make an effort to get out of this with mutas. But as we mentioned before, you kind of want to be ahead on roaches before you do that, because you don't want to sacrifice your roach production and take a bad fight. Now, that being said, Doom is doing a very good job of not taking a fight. He's not getting decisively engaged. This is makes him Rambo, right? He's poking at guerrilla warfare, hit and run. And Pasosa has been a little bit passive. Getting this little bit of roaches, it helps, but every second he hesitates, these roaches behind him are getting closer and closer. I think he lost more stutter stepping to kill those roaches than he actually got killed. And this is just this dance. You do see another hatchery about to finish up here in the bottom left-hand corner as World is Doom trying to sneaks in hatchery, but this poultry force has just been sidestepped, and it does look like Pasosa's going to push the issue. And look at that, one roach one goes down, he can still make roaches. Looks like he's going to push the issue and try to close it out over here. Pasosa now, the layer again, in danger. This will be the second layer lost this game, as the roaches for Doom make it home, but have to still deal with the roaches coming down the ramp. Huge drone transfer. If that was noticed, that'd be a big tell here as drones are being transferred to the bottom of the map. He is going to get those fires, so those are the last 8 mutas that are going to hit the field. Now, that's not a bad number of mutas. That's still a very dangerous number. And Doom actually finding a good fight here, even though he had to sacrifice a lot to get there. Cleaning up with a good concave. And we'll see what kind of damage these mutas are able to get done as they kind of search the map. There's a lot of things they can hit. A lot of spores going down. Hydralis Den going down now. That's not going to be something he wants to see. He's going to have to get as much damage as he can and then get out of there before the first set of hydras pop. And, 3 and a queen, 3 and a spore are going to do an okay job pushing away. Great angle there, but he is able to sneak by here down to the bottom and start doing some damage. Looks like the spore is going to get taken out before he has a chance to finish. And getting so many drones, 10 drones. Really, what a scrappy game this has been. Double expansion here. All of his buildings are slowly dying to lack of creep. He's got an oversaturated hidden expansion down there. He's got the 5th is now his second base. We're just going everywhere. That ninja base, I hope it makes a difference. Some absolute fantastic damage. Like, he's getting damage where he should have been out of the game already. Doom is a fierce competitor. If he can shave off a couple more of Hydralis and never let him get a chance to add up, but he can't lose any of these mutas. He has 8. He only has 8. Now he has 7, and he's not going to be able to make that 8th for quite some time again. So every bit of damage matters right here, right now. And more hydras, just to focus on hydras being produced. He catches 1 hydra off and alone, and he gets out of there. 5 more hydras though. For every hydra he shaves off, it looks like his opponent is sending 3 more out at him. So very scrappy fight. So much of this, that fight, the one that lost me the game. There's some good chat going on in there. But maybe some people read into the future. Alright, so these mutas now, so valuable. Like, if there's a most valuable unit, it's this one. Finding a couple hydras, but you can't lose your mutas, not even 1, and we're down to 5 where we were at 8, and now there's just too many hydras on the field for him to really maneuver. There's a spore crawler, get some fantastic damage done, and Doom really feels like he's on his last leg here. But take a look at the supply. It's 100. It's 100 to 77. There's still 52 army supply to 76 on the field. Doom doing an excellent and very scrappy job. Just imagine what he'd be doing if he had, you know, money and units. And this little choke's going to cost him some units as he pulls through. All right, still at 5 meters. Got another 3 Hydralisk out of that one. And the armies are still dancing. World is Doom is putting up one heck of a fight on so few legs. He's actually got a mineral bank again. 28, almost 3,000 minerals now. He can't spin it fast enough. This might be a larva problem. But you know what expands really easily? Drones. And if I take a look, he's probably, yep, he's oversaturated here. He had 28 there, so he started producing, he's starting producing a spawning pool again for the first time. So he can start up his tech path again. But I'd hate to look around at the rest of the base, see what's going on. We might miss any ounce of this damage. Oh, there are still 5 mutas alive, but that is so many Hydras, he can't even get those mutas near the fight. They will melt as soon as they come anywhere near. And it looks like he's getting surrounded. They're trying to pincer him. He's trying to close this out. Pasosa maneuvering roaches, maneuvering Hydralisks into position, trying to sacrifice a couple Hydralisks to get those mutas. This is what we've seen all game. Doom is just skittering through these things. He's maneuvering around. He's ducking. He's weaving. And somehow he's still alive here. As looks like he's the looks like Pasosa is just going to send some of the army away. There goes 2-3 mutas. As he realizes he doesn't have to spend his entire army on this fight, and he can send some across the map to try to end the game. Those mutas split up to leave. The roaches trying to get additional damage done down here, trying to pull more worker time. But this is I'm following 3 roaches right now. We're following a game of 3 roaches, and Ling's now coming down here. Ling's coming down here to get the counter pressure to cancel, to kill the 4th. Didn't even see that. We're so busy following this. And I think Pasosa's just like, fine, let's do this. Let's move across the map. We can end this game. So much army. Not even... He's hunting gas at this point. He's got to recognize now that there's stuff somewhere else on the map. And he's just got to go over there to close it out. But, you know, getting these buildings now, clearing them out, save him a little bit of time later. He's already here. There's a GG. Pasosa taps out. GG, and congratulations to Pasosa for working his way out of the groups. Congrats to Boo and Pasosa and everybody in Group A for a fantastic series of games. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Whew. Wow, that was something. What was that? That was an 18-minute game where I think it was over for 9 minutes, and Doom just continually proved me wrong. I gotta stretch. Oh, all right. Well, Doom says it was over as soon as I didn't have the Evo. Maybe, and I think a lot of the fights would have been a lot different if you had had +1. You'd been very scrappy. You've been very scrappy with your roaches, and imagine if they could stay on equal grounds with Pierre's roaches. And really, Pierre Pasosa, that had to be a very enduring and frustrating map. So congratulations to both competitors. If you didn't see the whole series, it will be on YouTube as soon as this uploads. I have a very fast internet, so maybe an hour tops. YouTube takes some time to process it. You can find that on my page, and I think there's links down below if you want to see it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you want to see more of this, we'll be covering most of the All-Invitational. A couple other community officers are going to be doing entire groups. And if you're catching this late and you casted some of the games we casted today, it was nothing personal. We were just making sure the entire group was captured in one video. So thank you again, everybody. Thank you for the players. Thank you for All Inspiration. If you haven't seen it yet, we have all kinds of cool All Inspiration gear. I put it on earlier, and it was very hot. We had a hoodie. We have jerseys. We don't make any money off of these. I'm not really advertising. I'm just saying, if you want some cool shit, we have it. You can check out our Discord, All Inspiration Discord, to see the there's links. Like exclamation mark merch, I think is what it is. So I know I'm really happy. I bought everything I had commissioned. So merchandise, video, All-Invitational Group B. I'm going to see what group is done, and it should be B, and I'll be live with that tomorrow. So stay tuned and go play some StarCraft.